Pop quiz. Who was the most left-leaning senator in the Senate in 2019? Yes, of course, that was Kamala Harris. And if you've been watching the show this week, I've mentioned it every single day. Thankfully, I'm no longer the only one. Apparently, people are starting to hop in on that notion and spread the word, and as a result, corporate media is doing their part to try to dissuade people about that. They're trying to pretend like it didn't happen. They're actually in the process of outright lying. I've said many times that we always have to treat this election as if we're losing badly. Don't look at the polls. Don't say, oh my gosh, Trump's going to win in a landslide. I don't want to hear that. Okay? Even if you think that, don't think that. Assume that they're going to cheat. Assume that there's going to be some sort of shenanigans, some sort of event, some sort of catastrophe, some sort of emergency in some way that they're going to attempt. And when I say some way, well, let's assume that it's going to be multiple ways. They need to launch every weapon they've got to try to prevent Donald Trump from returning to the Oval Office, and they will. They're already in the process of trying to gaslight us regarding Kamala Harris. Corporate media is in full swing. I mean, just absolutely beclowning themselves to anybody who's paying attention. But here's the thing. Unfortunately, the vast majority of Americans are not paying attention. They're still watching CNN, Fox News, whatever. And they're not getting the full picture. They're barely getting any picture. They're only being told what the powers that be want to tell them. And unfortunately, for us and for this nation, the stuff they want to tell them are things that don't help. Okay? They don't help the country. They don't help the world. They don't help anything other than the globalist elite cabal's agenda. Keep that in mind. I'm going to be talking once again. I know many of you are probably sick of hearing about Kamala. Looking around, making sure she didn't pop up like Beetlejuice. You're sick of me talking about Kamala, but I cannot stress how important it is that we get the word out right now. I'm not going to be talking about it from now until the election. Don't worry. We are going to actually talk about other topics. But right now, while the iron is hot, we have to get control of the narrative. And unfortunately, as I said, vast majority of Americans aren't paying attention enough to realize that they're being directly lied to. We're not just talking about, subtle biases or anything like that. They're actually getting full-blown, bald-faced lies told to them by corporate media. The only way we can fight that is for us to learn the truth. I will try to arm you with as much of the truth as possible, and then for us to then go out and tell people the truth, whether it's your friends and relatives, whether it's on social media, wherever it is, we have to get the truth out. You cannot assume that just because you know it, just because all of your friends seem to know it, or most of your friends seem to know it, you can't assume that the majority of Americans know it, and especially the all-important independents. Many of them are still getting their news from corporate media, and they're being told, oh no, it's a lie that Kamala Harris was the most leftist, progressive, radical in the Senate during her time there. They're already being told, no, she wasn't the border czar. That's a right-wing talking point. Except that she was, and still is, if we're getting technical, she is the border czar. That's an indisputable fact, except that they're disputing it. They're pretending like it didn't happen. They're pretending like we're making all of this up. You could show them a video of them saying, yes, Kamala Harris was just designated by Joe Biden as border czar, and you could show that to a reporter in corporate media, and they'll be like, oh, I must have gotten the story wrong because she definitely was never the border czar. Well, you said it. You said it. These are your words. Yeah, well, we report a lot of things, and sometimes we get it wrong. And I got it wrong back then because she's not the border czar. That actually happened to Axios, by the way.
Mike Lindell here, and like you, I see our country being destroyed daily. We face massive economic issues, and I can tell you from firsthand experience, there are people in power who threaten the values that have made our country great. Well, I've been a believer in gold and silver for a long time, and I've searched for years for a partner that shares my values. Well, Genesis Gold Group showed me how easy it is to protect your IRA, 401k, or your retirement with gold and silver. Their faith-driven approach to service and stewardship is one that stands out from the rest.
To get your free definitive gold guide and get started learning more about investing in gold and protecting your retirement from uncertain times, visit treasureandtrust.com now. Fill out the basic contact form and a member of the team will be in touch. Again, that's treasureandtrust.com or call 855-625-7760.